What's up, everybody? I am Gabriel Morency, sit alongside the raging redhead, Cam Stewart. Welcome to You Wager This Week, powered by www.uwager.eu. Great place to lay it down. Prop builder, best in the business. We've told you this all year long, the props that they have over there. And the prop builder, you can really make some really good money. 5% juice on Fridays, 100% sign-up bonuses. And for all you Bitcoin players out there, yes, UWager is a Bitcoin-friendly sports book. All right, so we're in the Week 14 of the National Football League. Let's focus in. Only one college football game this week, guys. We've got Army and Navy playing for the Commander-in-Chief Trophy, and it's extremely rare that the Army-Navy game is for the Commander-in-Chief Trophy. The Commander-in-Chief Trophy goes to the military school with the best record in the year, and Army don't win this a lot. I think they've only won it like 7 times in the history of, and they've been playing football for over 100 years. I think Army's only won this thing 7 times, so it's a big deal, and it's a big deal for Navy as well because Army beat Navy last year for the first time in 14 years. Navy are 3.5-point favorites, and I know, Cam, you're leaning towards Army.
I like Army in this situation. I know Navy's going to run the triple option, but Army is getting better all the time, Morency. They're no longer a joke, and I'm going to take the points. I also like them on the money line. Army is a program on the upswing, and I'll tell you, they would love to beat Navy again. Navy, year after year, used to embarrass these guys. Not anymore. Army's for real. Give me the points, and I'll take them on the money line.
You know, the over-under is 46. Generally, this series is played to the under.
Yep.
As Cameron mentioned, the triple option. Listen, they're 2 military schools. They both run the football.
Yep.
So it's a lot of ticking. A lot of ticking on the clock. But with that being stated, they both run the football into the end zone a lot.
That's true.
As well. They're both pretty, they're both pretty good. A really fun football game. A lot of times they sell you on the tradition of this game and the teams are crap. But both teams are actually pretty good. Navy's kind of on a down year, but this Army night program's really turned things around, man. A couple of years ago, yeah, they were
one of the worst.
Yeah, they were 2-10 team, 1-11 college football team every year. Now they're actually 6, 7, 8-win team. So yeah, good for Army. Good. It's going to be a fun game.
What about this one, Morency? And I know the clock does tick a lot, but if you're a teaser player, Army plus 10.5 over 39, I think we can get there. I think there's going to be enough touchdowns in this game to hit 40 points.
I don't have a problem with that. All right, let's jump in and talk some NFL football. We're into Week 14. And, this past weekend actually wasn't bad. We've ripped the quality of play in the NFL, but there were some decent games. And there's some good teams in the NFL. There's a handful of good teams, and the rest is just complete mediocrity. Let's talk about a couple of good football teams here. The New Orleans Saints. Big win against the Carolina Panthers. Kamara and Ingram just continue to kill it, man. It's unbelievable. They both put up big numbers together in the same games all the time. You get an Atlanta Falcon team playing back-to-back home games here, coming off a loss against the Atlanta Falcons. This is a must-win situation for the Falcons. One thing I can tell you about this rivalry, over the years, the road team has done very well, actually, and it's usually a high-scoring game. It's by far the highest total of the week, Cam, at 53. What do you make of this game?
I got to tell you, I really, really like the New Orleans Saints. We have futures on them from the start of the year, but I'm going to tell you they're going to meet a very, very desperate Atlanta team. I was wrong last week. I thought Atlanta would show up against Minnesota, but the Vikings defense was suffocating. Very, very tough game, Morency. I really want to take the Saints, but I'm worried about Atlanta showing up. They know it's now or never for the Falcons. I expect a real tight game, and you said it, points. We should have a lot of touchdowns in this game, not field goals, touchdowns.
Last year, Atlanta beat them 38-32
and
over 45-32. So somewhat of a double revenge situation here. But the year before that, the Saints swept them. It's very, like I said, the road team has won a lot in this series over the year. Look, last year, road team won.
Yep.
Year before, road team won. Year before that, road team won. Year before that, home team. Yeah. So you have to go all the way back. You have to go all the way back to 2013 for the home teams.
That's a long time in a rivalry.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Teams that play each other all the
Home
time.
field means nothing in this, actually. So that's kind of an argument for the Saints because the Saints are a better team.
Yeah, Kamara, you talked about him, man. This guy's an absolute beast. He can't be tackled. And finally, people are going to give some respect to Ingram. Drew Brees is going to do his thing. I know they got some valuable calls against Carolina in that game, but yeah, I really want to take the Saints game. I'm just a little bit scared of Atlanta because they're going to be in desperation mode. Tough game. Tough game. You want to maybe tease the dog in this game?
It really is.
Over. You might want. I don't see a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's going to be pretty tight.
Yeah, you give me the Atlanta Falcons plus 8.5.
That's kind of the way
over 46.
That's the way I'd look at it.
I like where you're going with that one. All right. Let's take a look at San Francisco 49ers and the Houston Texans. Jimmy Garoppolo made his debut. He wasn't great or anything
people
like
are talking about this guy like he was like magical. No, it was an okay performance.
But they did win the football game.
They did win the football game.
What do you make of this one? Houston Texans laying 3 points.
I don't like Tom Savage and Houston laying 3, and I
this
don't like
game sucks.
You know what? I'm going to pass on this game. I would lean to the dog with the Niners, but no, I'm not reaching this week. Pass.
Cincinnati Bengals really let one get away from them on Monday night, Cam. They had it. You know, they covered the point spread.
They did.
And as they say, good teams win, great teams cover. They covered the point spread, but they let it get away. You know, they could have been a playoff contender. They would have been right in the mix. You know, if you're the Bengals, you get that win. Now you're hosting the Chicago Bears. Wheels fall off. You blow a 14-point lead. Yep. You only score a field goal in the second half, and you let the Pittsburgh Steelers beat you for the 5th consecutive time in Cincinnati. I think that Monday nighter, Cam, was pretty much the nail in Marvin Lewis's coffin.
I agree, and if
that was the final straw. If he wins that game, he could kind of get saved.
This is the thing, yeah. No, Cincinnati wins that game. We could talk about a weak AFC and them going to the playoffs. Now I have to lay 6 with a team that was disappointed. Very violent affair versus Pittsburgh too. Look at the dog and the Chicago Bears. How do you have faith laying 6 with the Cincinnati Bengals? They can't get it done.
Okay, so this next game was coming off a win on Thursday Night Football against the Washington Redskins. Yep. They didn't really look great. The
Redskins looked awful.
Redskins just looked terrible in this game. Cowboys laying 4 right now on the road. It was 5. It's come down against the New York Giants. Eli Manning will be starting. Ben McAdoo has been fired. Jerry Reese, the general manager, has been fired. Defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, who does have NFL head coaching experience, takes over for the final month of the season. You know, you could argue that, listen, the Giants, you know, the season's a disaster, that they've quit, etc. But now that they fired the coach and the players all hated McAdoo.
They might be in good spirits this week.
Yeah, so they should be playing looser right now. And it's one of these deals, too. Spagnuolo could be the coach next year of this team. You know, it depends on how they play. So you're going to sell this to them and saying, listen, guys, you know, we can still show some pride here over the next month of the season and build into next year. Or you could all quit. I won't get the job, and who knows who will be the coach and the GM here next year, and who knows if you guys will be here next year.
Great point. They're actually playing for jobs, and if they like the man, they're going to play for the man.
Exactly. So if Spagnuolo, you know, if they want Spags to be the coach,
I would look at the Giants at +4.
And if they like Eli Manning, now it's time for Eli to show up
and say, I could be a quarterback.
And I'm telling you, I think Eli Manning got screwed over. I don't think they stated Eli hasn't played good football. And I don't think that the Giants even would have covered the point spread against the Raiders if Eli played. I think Geno Smith actually was better than Eli Manning. But I still think Eli got screwed. So now if you're come back right now, if you're the players, you guys got the coach fired. The GM is fired. You know, your boy Manning is back at quarterback.
You better show up for him.
You got to show up.
He better show up, too.
And
he's got another opportunity.
Yeah, if you totally suck, Manning, it's not a good look for you because a lot of people, including myself, stood up for you last week. And it's a rivalry game against the Dallas Cowboys. They don't like the Cowboys.
Nope, they're going to show
up. It's
a
real rivalry. They won't just roll over.
A lot of intangibles are telling me to take the Giants in this
spot. I do like the Giants here.
I think I do. I'm going to take the points as well.
Dak Prescott made a few plays against the Redskins, but let's be real. He's been struggling.
Yep.
All right, Green Bay Packers. And of course, the Cleveland Browns.
Well, of course they covered last week.
How angry were you about that?
It's just
what are you going to do?
What am I going to? I told you they were going to. If I'm not touching Cleveland, they cover. You know what, though, this week?
Not even never in doubt.
Yeah. Kaiser picks it. Yeah, that's just a joke, Morency. Anyway, they could actually. Cleveland could actually won the game if they made some plays. But this is a broken record. I've been saying it every week. They're their own worst enemy. Kaiser makes mistakes under pressure. He's a kid. You brought it up. This guy is not ready for prime time yet. Let's ease him in slow. But Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers is waiting around the corner, people. This is a big game. Green Bay laying 3.5 in Cleveland. I want to take the Browns, but
I like it better than 3.
Yeah, the Packers have a lot to play for because if they get a win, they're still alive. So, you know what? Maybe lay it down with
Packers minus 170 money line.
Yeah, don't even screw around with the spread. I'm with you.
That wouldn't surprise me if the Packers won by like 3 on last second field goal.
Yep.
Yeah, but I regret. I bet the over of the Browns game against the Chargers, and I only bet on the Browns once all year long. That was against the Detroit Lions.
Stay away from them.
And Man, I knew they were going to cover that.
I know. It's just smash that
and
game.
I was watching the game. I thought, I was like, of course.
Yep. The minute I
knew just the fact that you were going to bet on them out of all this time.
Should have told everybody, just load up on the Browns. If I'm not touching them, you'll make money.
I was hoping that you would secretly just click it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Gabe. They've hurt me too much. It's like that time you just get your woman just goes out and cheats and cheats and cheats and cheats. Eventually, you got to put your foot down, and I put my foot down this time. And you know what? Hey, she's still cheating. I don't know what to do with this team. They're killing me. I like Green Bay to win, but you're right. I could just see them winning by 3, right on the number and screwing us. There's other games on the board. Can we just stay away from Cleveland Brown?
This next game, we're going to talk about a team that always screws me.
Yeah, I know what? I like the team that's screwing you this week because I think they're actually in
they're in a pretty good spot. The Minnesota Vikings can't win every week.
That's what I'm saying.
Are they going to go 14-2? They're back-to-back on the road. They went to Atlanta. Now they got to play Carolina. Carolina seems like, it's a spot where they would bounce back here.
I like Carolina plus the 3 points, but hey, getting in front of the Vikings is like getting in front of a transport truck. They just seem to mow you over. I lean Carolina, but you don't put tons of units on it because Minnesota finds ways to win. Low money line on Minnesota, too. Kind of tells me something. Maybe Carolina is the play.
I bet on Minnesota pretty much every week. I hate to admit it. I think the Panthers are the play this week. I can't do it, though. I just can't.
That's what I'm saying. It's like Cleveland. Sometimes you just have to have teams that screw you. You get them out of your life.
Get out
of my life.
Yeah, I can't.
No, my heart can't take it. My pocketbook can't take it. Pass.
All right, this next game, unbelievable, this division. That the Chiefs were running away with this, and now they're 6-6. The Raiders are 6-6, and the Chargers are 6-6.
I think a lot of people are going to bet on the Raiders. I'm telling you, and the Chiefs' defense is awful, and the Jets did their thing. This is it. Because I don't believe in Oakland. These guys barely beat the Giants. This is teams in bad form.
You're right. I'm going to go back to the one more time.
Kansas City, you get one more chance, and you're a better team than the Raiders. You're at Arrowhead. You can't win this game by more than the touchdown. Andy Reid, for shame. Give me Kansas City, Morency.
You got Alex Smith throwing 4 touchdowns and 366 yards. You're wasting it. You don't even win.
Gabe, you're up 14-0 on the Jets, and they just let the Jets come back on the gutless performance. Hey, you still got a chance to win this division. Beat the Raiders. I like Kansas City.
I agree with you. A lot of people are on this Raiders bandwagon. I don't know why. They're not a good team.
Morency, I like the board this week, and I haven't said that in a long time because I've been throttled. So you know what? This week I have a good feeling.
I don't love the board this week. Kind of like the Giants. The Giants catch my eye there. Couple of games.
I think there's about 4 or 5 games that we can really not bet the whole board, but I think there's some good spots. Carolina, the Giants are in a good spot. Kansas City,
New York Jets at the Denver Broncos. The Broncos have lost 8 straight football games.
How do you bet the Broncos? You can't. Their quarterback plays
but you really want to take the Jets on
That's
the road.
Another thing. If you want to put a lot of money on the Jets in Denver, that's a dangerous situation. Pass.
Here's another strange game. Tennessee Titans and the Arizona Cardinals.
I don't like Arizona. Am I nuts?
I like Arizona against the Rams.
They screwed me hard in that teaser.
There was a time cam in that game. It was 16. What was it? It was 16.
Nothing.
No, it was 16-3.
No, they scored a touchdown. Yes.
It was 16-10, and the Cardinals stopped the Rams on their own 2-yard line. They were punting from their end zone.
And 80-yard. Yeah, it was a huge punt.
Oh my God! The Cardinals can actually take the lead here. We're going to cover the spread because they're getting 7. So they got great field position. It was a booming punt all the way to the 30, but they returned it to the 50-yard line. And it was like a 3-and-out. It was a 3-and-out. They hit the wall, and then the Rams just scored right after. Gurley popped like a big little screenplay for 70 yards. The Cardinals were in the game.
They were.
But in the fourth quarter, the Rams delivered a couple of knockout punches. I wonder how much the Cardinals have left in the tank, but it's hard to trust the Titans going on the West Coast laying 3 points.
Yeah, don't let the Titans fool you. That was a Henry run with basically no time left for them to cover again. That box score is not really indicative of how Houston played them tight. Pass. You're right. I want to take the Cardinals. They haven't shown me enough.
I didn't like the way the Redskins played on Thursday night against the Cowboys, but you can't lay 6 points with the Chargers. Chargers just laid 14. They won by 9. And that was against Cleveland. And they're actually lucky they won by 9. There was a time Kaiser was on the 7-yard line, and he pulled a Kaiser in which he went backwards sort of into Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
Bosa slapped the ball loose. You know what I mean?
Chargers ball.
It would have been 1917 after that, actually. The game was close. Cleveland always moved the ball, but they screw up inside the 20s all the time.
Correct.
I don't trust. It's not a good spot for the Chargers here. Everyone's on the Charger bandwagon right now. They're going to make the playoffs. They're winning, they are winning games. But the Chargers have never been a good favorite.
I like where your mind is going. For me, it's the Redskins or nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not laying 6.
The Redskins know they're not going to the playoffs, but they're not going to quit. They're free. It's going to be all right. Let's just throw the ball, and they're going to play. like I said, the Chargers aren't built to blow teams out. They
They're
just
not.
don't. You know, your teams are Washington Redskins plus 13 over 39.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. There's going to be, because the Chargers will score on Washington. Washington will score on them. Love it.
Yeah, this next game is a game that I do like. I like the Jacksonville Jags against the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks, big win on Sunday night, you know, with the help of Tony Corrente. And the refereeing. I mean, that was one of the worst officiated games ever. It's like Krusty the Clown. He's using a freaking ladder, ref. I mean, he's passing the ball forward illegally, and they don't do anything about it. Yet Seattle playing Sunday night. This is a horrible spot for them. Playing on Sunday night, now going to the East Coast against the Jacksonville Jag team, who have 8 wins on the season and aren't a fun team to play when you go into Jacksonville.
All of the things
they're a violent defense. They
Yep.
rotate 7 guys on the defensive line. They just continuously come at you. Their secondary is fierce.
The things that Seattle are good at, Jacksonville's very good at defense. Like, that's the thing.
You know
it's
what?
not a
They're
very
almost-
good. It's not a good matchup for
They're
Seattle.
actually very Seattle-like. When Seattle from a few
Yes.
years ago.
And
Nasty on defense, you know, manage the offense. They just don't have a Russell Wilson.
yeah,
But I'll tell you what, Blake Bortles
he's playing better.
great. He's
You know
playing,
what?
you know.
I hate to say it, but Jacksonville might be one of the plays of the week. Hey, I was on Seattle against Philly, but this is a bad spot.
Russell Wilson's a master of buying time, and just the guy's amazing. And he makes these freaking plays and stuff off the Eagles. But the Eagles got pressure on him. They just couldn't get him once he was running around. You know, they lead the offense. They've got so many guys, and they come from all angles.
Jags versus that offensive line game.
Wilson,
It's bad news.
Wilson's going to be running into sacks, you know, a lot of times.
I have a bad feeling.
Like, Wilson will run around and be like, oh, my God, there's Marcel
He's
there.
lose
Like,
13 yards.
yeah, there's going to be guys around, and that secondary is pretty good as well. I think Jacksonville's the play here
I agree with you 100%.
in a low-scoring game.
Like,
I don't bet a lot of unders.
I hate to say it. I don't think
39.5.
Seattle team total under. Jacksonville's going to win that game like 23-9.
Here's another really fun game. This
I think we disagree on this game.
I like the Rams.
I like the Eagles.
You think they're going to
Yeah,
bounce back?
I do. I liked what I saw. The Eagles, I don't think the score was indicative. Morency pointed it out. Many opportunities. Wilson and Seattle was lucky in that game. They also had the benefit of the referees. The Rams, on the other hand, I love watching the Rams, but the Eagles are a superior team to me, and I have a feeling as professionals, they come back and beat them outright as 2.5-point dogs. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles against the Rams. They get to go off.
I think the wheels are starting to fall off a little bit. I think the Eagles are going to struggle in this game. I do. One thing about the New York Giants I want to bring up, speaking of coaches, Jim Schwartz.
I like Jim Schwartz
for New York.
Jim Schwartz, great defensive mind.
Be a good coach for the Giants, I think, Jim Schwartz.
Yeah,
he's not going to get the
No,
job.
he won't, but I like that name.
The Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I want the Ravens.
Give me the Ravens plus 5.5,
give me
man.
it. Well,
Ravens are freaking hot right now. These games are always close. Historically, guys just tease the underdog and the under in this game. Total's 43.5. Plus 12.5, under 50.5. That's a winner.
I'll tell you something. The
You
Ravens
want to buy some Christmas gifts?
disrespected. They're playing
Give me the
hot.
5.5.
What's Pittsburgh going to do? Kick another late, last-second field goal to win a game? What they do every week?
They beat the Colts by 3. Packers by 3.
Bengals, same thing. Every week, I can't take this team to cover the spread. Give me the Ravens.
Plus,
I don't know what. I think they can win the game outright.
Not to mention, we hope that Ryan Shazier is okay.
I do too.
But from a football standpoint, Ryan Shazier is damn good.
He is.
They don't have him anymore. Lost.
Trust me, they're in the Ravens.
And I tell you,
they're stoked.
That Steelers secondary looked shaky last night too.
Dalton was carving them up.
He was. You know, Baltimore, they're peaked. They're rested. They're watching that game on Monday. Pittsburgh are beat up. This game comes down to the wire, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore wins this game outright.
I agree 100%.
But if Pittsburgh wins, it'll be on a field goal. Give me the 5.5. I like this one a lot. Give me the Ravens. And then Monday Night Football.
What a snoozer.
The Dolphins are gutless. They'll quit.
Yeah.
They'll roll over.
I want to take an 11-point dog. Can't. New England or nothing.
Ugly game.
Brutal game. You almost want to flex that game out of Monday night. It sucks.
Ugly game. All right. So we mentioned you got the college football scene this week. It's only Army and Navy. And then the following Saturday, the bowls start, Kev.
Yep. You're down with some interesting bowl games already.
What better way to spend a Saturday afternoon than watching North Texas and Troy?
Yep. Georgia State and Western Kentucky. Oregon and Boise State's an interesting
That's
little
a good,
matchup.
yeah. Oregon and Boise State.
Marshall and Colorado State. Interesting games.
There's some ugly games.
Oh,
There's
Akron and Florida Atlantic. Yikes.
FAU.
Temple and FAU. Florida National and Temple. Hey, we gotta watch it.
FIU plus the 7.
Oh yeah, for sure. UAB and
that's
Ohio.
That's the Bahamas Bowl.
Wow, that's the Bahamas Bowl. Amazing.
Central Michigan,
and
Wyoming.
Wow, this is and Texas Tech and South Florida. That's a good game.
Low total, 67.
Yeah, I think we can get to like 90 points in that game. Don't you think?
Houston and Fresno State, the Hawaii.
I want to
Bowl.
take Fresno.
That's the Hawaii Bowl. I agree. I think Fresno's
underrated.
They'll be more fired up for this game too.
I agree.
This is if you're a single, lonely, degenerate gambler bowl game.
Oh, yeah,
that's what they should call it.
Always watch the Christmas Eve game alone. That's what you do.
It's a Christmas Eve game. Yeah, for those of you, if you don't have a family, you got no girlfriend, you got no life.
That's your game.
Yeah, guys, don't worry. Don't worry. We got Houston and Fresno State to fill the void in our empty lives. Thanks, you wager. Don't have any friends or family in the holidays? Don't worry.
We got sports for you.
You wagers there 365 days a year with the best damn prop builder in the business.
They don't close.
No. Yep. They don't close, and neither do we. Okay, great stuff. So, yeah, best bet NFL. What are you going with?
Jacksonville's going to be in the best bets. I like the Baltimore Ravens. And what else did we talk about? There was another game that I was really – the Giants might be on my list. We agree with a lot of games, and Carolina's in a good spot against Minnesota.
I agree. You know what? I'm
actually starting to like this week.
I'm looking at the New York Giants plus the points, the Washington Redskins plus the points, Jacksonville minus the 3, Rams minus the 2.5, Baltimore plus. Love it. And we got some good teasers. I'm telling you, take a look at the Baltimore the teaser. We got to get out of here, but I wanted to where's the scores here? I'll show you the scores. They're always 3-point games, guys.
Oh yeah, these guys, Pittsburgh and Baltimore, usually to the
under. All right, 26-9. That was earlier in the year. Throw that one out. Before that, 31-27, 21-14, 20-17, 23-20, 30-17. So you got to go back 14. So
26-6. Yeah, these guys tend to play to the under.
4 out of the last 5 to the under. Tease the Baltimore Ravens plus 12.5 to under 50.5, and you got yourself a winner. And do it at uwager.eu. For Cam Stewart, I'm Gabriel Morency. Other than that, you're on your own. May the winners be yours. Later.